Have you ever had moments in life where you felt completely lost? Everything around you seems unclear and you don't know what the right direction is. It might feel like you've hit a wall, and no matter how hard you try, nothing seems to make sense. Maybe you've been in a situation where the path ahead is foggy and the choices you have seem overwhelming, or perhaps you find yourself at a crossroads with no idea which way to turn. It's during these times that we experience a deep sense of uncertainty, and it can feel like the world is closing in on us. In those moments, it's easy to feel like we're stuck, as if there is no way out of the confusion or frustration. However, I want you to know that it's perfectly natural to feel this way from time to time. Everyone goes through moments of uncertainty, regardless of where they are in life. It's a shared experience, and if you look closely, it's something that connects us all. We all have moments where we question ourselves, where we wonder if we're making the right decisions, or if we're even on the right path at all. It's part of being human. Whether you're facing challenges in your career, relationships, or personal development, uncertainty can creep in and it can feel overwhelming. But here's the thing, these moments don't have to be seen as negative. In fact, they can be a gift, a chance to pause, reflect, and reconnect with the deeper part of yourself. These moments, though uncomfortable, are often the very ones that spark self-discovery, clarity, and growth. When we feel lost, it's often a sign that we need to take a step back and reassess our lives. It's in these moments of confusion that we have the opportunity to find guidance, whether it comes from within ourselves, from the experiences we've had, or from the people around us. It's when we allow ourselves to be still, to listen carefully, and to look inward, that we can start to uncover the clarity we're seeking. Sometimes the answers we need are not immediately obvious, but they are there waiting for us to tune in and recognize them. In these uncertain times, we might feel disconnected from our own sense of direction. But in reality, these moments are exactly when we need to reconnect with who we truly are. These are the times when we have the chance to rediscover our core values, our passions, and our goals. It's when we feel lost that we're often being called to explore new possibilities, challenge old beliefs, and embrace growth. In a way, feeling lost is often the first step toward finding the guidance and direction we need. It might not seem like it at first, but being uncertain and unsure of where you're headed can actually be a powerful opportunity. It's an invitation to pause, reflect, and look at life from a different perspective. It's a chance to ask yourself questions that you might not have thought to ask before. What is it that I truly want? What do I need to let go of in order to move forward? What lessons am I meant to learn from this experience? These are the kinds of questions that can help us move from a place of confusion to one of clarity. It's not about having all the answers right away, but about trusting the process and giving ourselves the space to figure things out. So if you find yourself in one of these moments feeling unsure, lost, or uncertain about what comes next, I want you to know that you're not alone. And more importantly, this is not the end of the road. It's the beginning of a new chapter. It's a moment of transformation, a chance to explore who you really are and what you're truly meant to do in this world. This uncertainty can be the starting point of a new, clearer path. It's your opportunity to find the guidance you need to reconnect with your purpose and to move forward with renewed clarity. If you think this video might help you or someone else, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on more videos on finding balance and purpose in life. Let's dive into how we can navigate these moments of uncertainty and find the guidance we need to move forward. The first step in finding guidance when you're lost is to look inward. It might seem simple, but in practice it's often one of the hardest things to do. When we're overwhelmed, when everything around us feels chaotic and uncertain, it can be incredibly challenging to slow down and listen to ourselves. We live in a world full of distractions, where external noise often drowns out our inner voice. The pressures of daily life, the demands from work, relationships, and society can make it difficult to hear what's truly going on inside. In these moments of confusion and uncertainty, it's crucial to create a quiet space where we can reconnect with ourselves. Take a breath and listen. Taking the time to listen to your emotions and thoughts is one of the most powerful tools you have when you're feeling lost. It's easy to try to ignore our inner voices because they might be telling us things we're not ready to hear. We might feel that if we take the time to reflect, we'll be confronted with uncomfortable truths or difficult decisions that we'd rather avoid. But here's the thing. Ignoring those feelings doesn't make them go away. In fact, the more we push them aside, the louder they get, often manifesting as stress, anxiety, or even physical discomfort. When everything around you feels like it's in a whirlwind, it's even more important to stop and listen. When we feel like we're spinning in circles, it's often a sign that we've been neglecting our own needs and desires. We may have been so focused on fulfilling others' expectations or meeting external goals that we've lost touch with our true selves. This is where the power of self-reflection comes in. When you take a step back and give yourself the space to think deeply, you create an opportunity to align yourself with your true purpose. The first step in this process is simply taking a moment of stillness. This could be as simple as finding a quiet place to sit for a few minutes, stepping outside for a walk in nature, or even just closing your eyes for a few minutes to focus on your breath. It's not about finding an instant solution or a clear answer right away. It's about creating a sense of calm so that you can tune in to what your mind and heart are truly telling you. In this stillness, you may begin to notice subtle thoughts and feelings, emerging thoughts that might have been buried under the noise of everyday life. These quiet whispers from within often contain the guidance we need to move forward. A key part of this process is asking yourself the right questions. When you're feeling lost, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the idea of making the right decisions or finding the perfect path. But rather than focusing on a specific goal, start by asking yourself fundamental questions about what matters most to you. Questions like, what do I really want? What truly matters to me? And what is it that I need right now? These aren't questions that have quick or easy answers, but they help you start the process of reflection. It's in these moments of asking questions that we often begin to uncover what we've been missing. When I've faced moments of uncertainty in my life, one of the most powerful questions I've asked myself is, what do I truly want? It sounds simple, but it's not always easy to answer, especially when you're feeling lost. I've often realised that in the midst of my struggles, I was so focused on fulfilling external expectations, whether from others or from my own past ambitions, that I forgot to ask myself what I genuinely wanted. It was in those moments of pause that I realised I wasn't taking the time to listen to my heart. I was so caught up in the whirlwind of life that I wasn't truly tuning in to what felt right for me. Through this practice of listening to myself, I was able to gain clarity on what truly mattered. I realised that some of the goals I had been chasing weren't aligned with my true values, and others were goals I had inherited from society or family expectations. When I started asking myself these questions, I began to differentiate between what I thought I should be doing and what I truly wanted to do. This shift in perspective was empowering. It gave me the courage to step away from certain paths that no longer served me and to embrace new opportunities that resonated more deeply with my core values. Another question I found helpful in moments of confusion was, what brings me joy? It might seem like an obvious question, but it's easy to forget that joy is often a powerful indicator of our purpose. In those moments when I felt lost, I realized that I had neglected the things that truly brought me joy. By reconnecting with these things, whether it was creative activities, spending time with loved ones, or simply being in nature, I started to feel more centered and grounded. It was through this reconnection with joy that I began to recognize the areas of my life that truly aligned with who I am at my core. In moments when you feel lost, it's also important to reflect on your values, goals, and passions. What do you stand for? What do you believe in? What do you want to contribute to the world? These reflections help bring you back to your center. When we're overwhelmed, it's easy to lose sight of the things that matter most. But in moments of self-reflection, you may realize that your core values haven't changed. They may just have been overshadowed by external pressures or distractions. When you reconnect with these values, it becomes easier to identify the next steps forward. One of the key points I want to emphasize is that you are the best person to understand what you need. While it can be tempting to look for guidance from others or search for quick answers, the truth is that you have the answers within you. The guidance you seek is often hidden behind the noise of everyday life. When you take the time to listen, you allow yourself the opportunity to tap into this inner wisdom, and it's this inner wisdom that will lead you to the right path, even when the way forward seems unclear. It's not about finding immediate solutions or making life-altering decisions in an instant. It's about creating space for yourself to pause, reflect, and listen to what your heart is telling you. When you take the time to do this, you begin to see things more clearly. You start to understand what truly matters to you, and you can begin to make choices that align with your values and desires. The more you practice listening to yourself, the more you'll strengthen your connection to your inner guidance, and the clearer your path will become. Ultimately, feeling lost is a natural part of life, but it's also an opportunity for growth. When you listen to yourself and give yourself permission to reflect, you start to find the guidance you need. By turning inward, you connect with your true self, and this self-awareness becomes the foundation for the clarity you're seeking. Take the time to listen to your heart. Ask yourself the important questions and allow yourself to grow through this process. You may just discover that the answers you need have been within you all along. When you're feeling lost, one of the most effective ways to find guidance is through learning from others. It can be hard to navigate through life's uncertainties when you feel like you're alone, unsure of what steps to take next. However, it's essential to recognize that you don't have to have all the answers on your own. Seeking guidance from external sources can offer new perspectives, provide motivation, and help you realign your path. This guidance can come in many forms, whether it's from mentors, books, or simply listening to the advice of those who have walked similar paths. Each of these avenues can help you see things in a different light and provide the clarity needed to move forward. Mentors are some of the most valuable sources of guidance when we're feeling lost. A mentor is someone who has more experience or knowledge in a specific area of life and can help guide you through challenging times. They don't just offer solutions, they help you ask the right questions and provide insight into how they have navigated similar situations. Mentors offer wisdom gained from their own experiences, which is priceless when you're seeking direction. Often, a mentor can help you recognize strengths in yourself that you didn't know existed, and they can offer a different perspective that might be the exact thing you need to hear. I've had the privilege of having mentors in my life who have guided me through various challenges, and their wisdom has been invaluable. One of the most significant moments when I sought guidance from a mentor was during a time when I felt utterly stuck in my career. I was unsure about the next step and was questioning my ability to move forward. I reached out to someone I admired in my field, a person whose career path had followed a similar trajectory to mine, but with far more experience. Our conversation was eye-opening. My mentor didn't provide me with direct answers or tell me exactly what to do. Instead, they asked me insightful questions and shared their own journey, including the struggles they had faced and the mistakes they had made along the way. This conversation helped me realize that feeling lost is part of the process of growth. My mentor reminded me that uncertainty doesn't mean I'm failing. It simply means that I'm on the verge of something new and important. Mentorship is not just about finding someone who has all the answers. It's about finding someone who understands the complexities of the journey and can offer encouragement, wisdom, and support when you need it the most. It's through these conversations and the sharing of experiences that you gain the confidence to move forward even when the path isn't entirely clear. A good mentor can offer a new perspective that you might not have considered before and help you see the bigger picture when you're bogged down by doubts and uncertainties. In addition to seeking out mentors, books are another incredible resource for finding guidance when you feel lost. Reading is a way to tap into the collective wisdom of those who've walked before you. Books provide not only knowledge and insight, but also inspiration. They allow you to learn from the experiences of others without the need for direct personal interaction. The beauty of books is that they can transport you into another person's world, offering perspectives that expand your thinking, challenge your assumptions, and open your mind to new possibilities. For me, books have been one of the most consistent sources of guidance during difficult times. I can remember a period when I felt uncertain about my direction in life, unsure of whether I was making the right choices. During this time, I turned to books that focused on personal development philosophy and stories of others who had gone through struggles and emerged stronger. One particular book that had a profound impact on me was The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. The story follows a young shepherd named Santiago, who embarks on a journey to find his personal legend, his true purpose in life. What struck me the most about the book was the theme of following your dreams even when the path is unclear. Santiago's journey was full of obstacles, but the message was clear: the universe will conspire to help you achieve your purpose, but only if you listen to your heart and trust the process. Reading that book gave me a renewed sense of purpose and the courage to keep moving forward even when I didn't have all the answers. Books like The Alchemist offer more than just entertainment. They provide a source of wisdom that resonates with your own experiences. Whether it's through fiction, self-help, or biographies of people who've overcome adversity, reading can inspire you to take the next step. Books provide us with the tools to understand ourselves better, reflect on our circumstances, and gain clarity on how to move forward. Along with books and mentors, another invaluable source of guidance comes from the people around us, our friends, family, or even people we meet along the way who have experienced similar struggles. Sometimes just talking with someone who understands what you're going through can help you feel less alone. They might offer perspectives or advice that you hadn't considered, or simply provide a listening ear when you need it most. These conversations can help you see your challenges from a different angle, and they often remind you that you're not the only one facing difficulties. One of the ways I've sought guidance from others is by being open to conversations with people I admire or respect. Often simply sharing your struggles with someone who has walked a similar path can be incredibly validating. I remember a time when I was questioning my career choices and wondering if I was on the right path. I reached out to a friend who had already gone through a similar career transition and asked for their advice. They listened to my concerns and shared their own journey with me. Hearing about their struggles, the challenges they faced, and how they eventually found their way was both reassuring and enlightening. It helped me realize that everyone faces moments of doubt and that finding your way doesn't always happen in a straight line. Sometimes it takes time, patience, and trust in the process. The guidance we receive from others, whether it's from mentors, books, or people we admire, can provide us with the insights and inspiration we need to keep moving forward. The beauty of learning from others is that it helps us see our challenges through a different lens. Their stories, advice, and experiences can provide us with the motivation to push past our doubts and fears and continue striving toward our goals. Often the guidance we receive doesn't provide a clear-cut solution, but it offers the encouragement we need to take the next step, knowing that we're not alone in our journey. In conclusion, when you feel lost, remember that you don't have to figure everything out on your own. Seek guidance from those who have walked similar paths, whether it's through mentors, books, or conversations with others who understand. These external sources of wisdom can offer new perspectives, inspire you to keep moving forward, and provide the clarity you need to realign your life. The experiences and lessons of others are invaluable tools for helping you navigate through the confusion and uncertainty you may be facing. By learning from them, you can find the inspiration and motivation to continue on your journey toward discovering your true purpose. One of the most crucial aspects of finding guidance when you feel lost is trusting the process. It's easy to get frustrated when things aren't going according to plan, especially when we don't have all the answers, or when the path ahead seems unclear. But the truth is, the journey toward discovering your true direction isn't always a straight line. In fact, it's rarely linear. Sometimes guidance comes through trial and error, through failure, and through the setbacks we experience along the way. These moments of difficulty, although painful in the moment, often hold the very lessons we need to move forward. When we feel lost, it can feel like we're stuck or going in circles. There's often a temptation to give up or to stop trying, especially when things aren't happening as quickly as we want them to, or when we don't immediately see progress. But the key to overcoming these feelings is perseverance. When things aren't clear, the most important thing to do is to keep going. You may not have all the answers, and that's okay. The act of continuing forward even when the road seems uncertain is a powerful form of guidance in itself. Sometimes it's not about having all the answers or knowing exactly what to do next. It's about staying committed to the process and trusting that the next step will reveal itself in time. The path to finding clarity often involves taking risks and stepping into the unknown. In fact, some of the most significant moments of guidance come when we make decisions without knowing exactly where they'll lead. It's when we trust ourselves enough to take a leap of faith even in the face of uncertainty that we open ourselves to new opportunities for growth and self-discovery. There is no perfect formula for success, and there are no guarantees that every decision will lead us to the right place. But it's through taking action even when we're unsure that we gain the insights and experience that ultimately guide us toward our true purpose. I'd like to share a personal experience that illustrates this point. There was a time in my life when I had to make an important decision about my career. I was feeling incredibly uncertain, unsure if I was making the right choice or if I was on the right path. I'd been working in a job for several years that, while stable, didn't fulfill me in the way I had hoped. I'd always dreamed of pursuing something more creative, but the fear of failure and the uncertainty of the unknown held me back. I wasn't sure if I had the skills or the right direction to take that leap, but after a period of feeling stuck, I decided to trust myself and go for it. I chose to leave my stable job and pursue something that was more aligned with my passions, even though I didn't have a clear idea of what the next step would look like. It was a leap of faith. At the time, it felt like a huge risk, and I was filled with doubt and fear. I didn't know if I was making the right decision, and I wasn't sure what would happen next. But I trusted that even if I didn't have all the answers, taking action was better than staying stagnant. I knew that I had to take the first step even if the path wasn't clear, because sometimes the act of moving forward creates the clarity we seek. Looking back, I can say with certainty that that decision was one of the best I've ever made, even though it didn't come without its challenges. The path I chose wasn't easy. There were moments of doubt, moments where I questioned whether I'd made the right decision, and times when I faced setbacks. But with each step I took, I learned more about myself. I discovered new strengths, new skills, and new ways of thinking that I never would have encountered if I hadn't trusted the process and allowed myself to take that leap. The feeling of being lost slowly faded as I realized that my journey wasn't a straight line. It wasn't about knowing exactly where I was going, but about taking small steps and learning as I went along. One of the most important things I learned through that experience is that the journey toward finding your true purpose doesn't happen overnight. It's a series of small, sometimes imperfect steps. Sometimes we need to take a detour or encounter a setback in order to learn the lessons that will eventually guide us toward our destination. The mistakes and missteps along the way aren't failures, they are part of the process. Each misstep is an opportunity to learn to grow and to refine our understanding of what we truly want. When we trust the process, we stop viewing setbacks as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities for growth. Every challenge becomes a lesson. Every difficulty becomes a chance to learn something new about ourselves. The key is to keep moving forward even when things don't go according to plan. Life doesn't always follow a set trajectory, and it's important to allow for flexibility. Sometimes we need to change course or adjust our approach, or simply keep going in the face of uncertainty. But by trusting the process, we can allow life to unfold in the way it's meant to, rather than forcing things to happen before they're ready. There will be moments in your life when you'll feel like you're not making progress, when the answers aren't coming fast enough, and when you feel like you're stuck in a rut. It's in these moments that trusting the process becomes even more important. The key is to keep going even when you don't know exactly where you're headed. Trust that each step you take will bring you closer to your purpose, even if it's not immediately apparent. Action leads to clarity. Each decision, each step forward, no matter how small, will reveal the next piece of the puzzle. Perseverance is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up too soon. The road to finding your true direction may be winding and there will be bumps along the way, but every effort you make is a step forward. Trusting the process isn't just about being patient, it's about understanding that the journey itself holds value. It's in the doing, in the experience, and in the learning that we uncover the guidance we need to move forward. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's this: trust the process. Even when you don't have all the answers, keep moving forward. You don't need to see the entire road ahead of you, just take the next step. The guidance you're seeking will reveal itself in time. Your journey is unique, and sometimes it's the uncertainty that leads us to the most profound insights. So trust yourself, trust the process, and keep moving forward, because the answers will come when the time is right. Finding guidance when you feel lost isn't always easy, but it's a vital process in the journey of self-discovery. Life has a way of throwing obstacles our way, and during those times it's easy to feel uncertain, confused, or even defeated. However, these moments of feeling lost are not permanent. They're often the starting points of deeper understanding and clarity. To move forward and find your way, the first step is to listen to yourself. It's about reconnecting with your inner voice, your core values, and your true goals. These moments of uncertainty offer a unique opportunity to pause, reflect, and realign with what truly matters to you. Once you've taken the time to reconnect with yourself, you can seek guidance from others. This could be through mentors, books, or people who have walked similar paths. Sometimes the wisdom and perspectives of those who have been through what you're experiencing can provide clarity and insight that we can't always find on our own. The beauty of learning from others is that it allows us to gain knowledge from different experiences, helping us see things from a fresh perspective. Whether it's the stories of those who overcame challenges or the lessons shared by people who understand the struggles we're facing, the guidance we receive from others can provide us with the encouragement and motivation we need to keep going. But above all, it's important to remember that finding guidance is not always about having everything figured out immediately. The final piece of the puzzle is learning to trust the process. Often the road to clarity isn't a straight path. There will be bumps along the way, moments when we feel uncertain, and times when we wonder if we're on the right track. But the key is to keep moving forward even without clear answers. Trusting the process means understanding that every trial, every setback, and even every failure is a part of the journey. It's through these challenges that we grow and develop the strength needed to find our true direction. When I reflect on my own experiences, I realize that some of the most profound moments of growth came not from clear, easy answers, but from the trials and challenges I faced along the way. At times I felt lost and unsure, but by continuing to listen to myself, seeking guidance from others, and trusting that the answers would come, I eventually found clarity. Life's purpose isn't something that is handed to us all at once. It's a process of unfolding, of learning, of growing, and of trusting that we are exactly where we need to be, even when we can't yet see the full picture. So if you're feeling lost right now, know that you're not alone. The path ahead may not always be clear, but with each step you take, you're getting closer to your true direction. Take the time to listen to your heart, seek the wisdom of others, and most importantly, trust the process. The journey itself is just as important as the destination. Every experience you have, every decision you make is part of your unique path toward discovering your true purpose. Thank you for watching this video. If you found these messages helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more videos on finding life's purpose and personal growth. Let's continue this journey together, and remember, you can always find guidance within yourself and from those around you. Keep going, trust the process, and your path will unfold. Keep moving forward, knowing that you're exactly where you need to be on your journey towards self-discovery and fulfillment.